It's the lead.
Yes,
We
sir.
here.
It's going down.
Man, first I want to say congratulations.
Appreciate it,
I'm
man.
sitting here with a legendary Texas producer. And I don't even want to say Texas, bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm worldwide.
You
man,
done been
pretty
around
much.
the block a few
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
But over the weekend, it's a series of events.
Yeah, we had a couple of little spicy incidents.
Yeah.
If you want to say that's what it is.
Now, was this a surprise or you seen it coming?
I mean, I really was surprised. Really, I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it really.
Okay. Now he had a lot to say.
Yeah, in a few words he did. You know what I mean? And I was kind of, this is not the first time, so it didn't really bother me. But a lot of people have been calling, and I feel like what, if it's gonna just keep going on and keep happening, and I'm not responding, then it's time for me to go ahead and say my piece on it, because I really believe this is family business, and I don't like to air family business out in the streets and on social media and on records and none of that kind of stuff. Right. So, this is the events that's been happening since 2013. So, I pretty much walked away from it.
So is this the first time he put it on the internet, like in music and stuff
like that? This is the second time.
Second time. Yeah. But this time it caught on a little bit more?
Yeah, it's caught on a little bit more. A lot of people called. And then, it's probably the same. It caught on the same way. I think if I wouldn't have said nothing or reacted to it, it probably just went away. But, it's on principle. I just felt like I got to clear the air and say what I need to say.
Yeah.
Because, I'm really not trying to entertain it like that.
Now, on this record going up, he says, he called you a bitch. But that's whatever. Yeah. But to call somebody a thief is something else. You know, is that what got to you?
Really it did. And, like I said, I look at dude like he's my family, you know what I'm saying? So the events that took place, I looked out for him. You know what I'm saying? So it was never like on no malicious intent or anything like that. I really overlooked a lot of things that happened in between us doing business.
Now, in the past, he was signed to you.
He signed a deal with me in 2013.
2013.
So that's what pretty much was stemmed all of this controversy. And in 2013, I signed him to a $200,000 deal, pretty much. And, me and my business partner, we gave him a nice substantial amount of cash, and we gave him a Bentley also.
Yeah.
To solidify what he wanted. That's what he asked us for, and that's what we gave him. And we were supposed to get an album for that. We never got it.
Okay. So in 2013, you gave him an advance.
Yeah.
For $200,000?
I gave him $50,000 in cash, and he put $50,000 on a Bentley.
Okay. So the Bentley was in the black and white. That was in the contract.
It's in that paperwork right
there. Okay. So the paperwork right here. He ain't playing. Okay. So in return, y'all had to recoup off the mixtape that y'all agreed to.
Basically, it was an album that we were supposed to get. I paid him $10,000 extra before we signed him for a mixtape. That's what I ended up putting out, because I never got the album.
Okay. So what was the reason why he didn't drop the album?
Well, the events that occurred after we did our deal, he came with a release paperwork from Rap-A-Lot saying that he was not signed to Rap-A-Lot. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's no reason for me not to believe that. But what happened, he was released from his artist agreement with Rap-A-Lot. Then he signed a joint venture deal with Rap-A-Lot, which put him back in the contract status with Rap-A-Lot. So essentially, he took my money, and he wasn't really in a position to sign a deal because he was already in the contract. When I found out about it, it put stress on our relationship, and he got a little weird about it and kind of backed off, didn't want to do anything, wasn't turning no records in, doing typical what he do, get on the internet, vent a little bit, and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? So it kind of put us in a weird space.
Yeah. So do you think somebody was in his ear, like telling him, you shouldn't mess with Mr. Lee, or you shouldn't turn in no music?
No. It was actually the other way around. The people that was really working with him and dealing with him was telling him, hey, man, just turn the album in, sit down and talk to Lee and get your situation, get an understanding with it and move on. But it's just like right now. I've been in contract with his manager, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like when dude get in a situation where he, don't have no understanding, don't want to communicate. So it's like, how can we fix something if you're not talking?
Yeah. So stealing, he said you were stealing. Like, what do you feel like he's talking about when he says?
He's talking about the records that I got, and I think he don't like the way that I'm using them or putting them out. And that's all cool and dandy, man. But at the end of the day, you had $100,000 that we gave you, and I didn't get no album. You know what I'm saying? I gave you $10,000 for a mixtape. I never, would have thought that we would have got here. And then the car, same thing. got the car, wasn't paying the car note on time, on top of not communicating with us and not wanting to give us our project that we paid for. So we ended up having to take the car back. And crazy thing about it is I made some mistakes in this deal. I could say that really clear that I did that because I acted out in business on a personal level and not business level. I gave him all the money and everything that he needed up front. Normally, when you do a deal, you give a person 50%, get your album, get another other half of their bread. You know, dude is my family, so I was like, "Here, man, I trust you. Here go all your bread. Here go your car. We good to go. Let's go." You know what I'm saying? And shit just went south.
So you say you took the Bentley back?
Yeah, we had to take it back.
Okay, how'd you like get it in the physical form? Like you had
I had hired a repo company. They came and picked it up.
Was he not paying on it?
He missed a couple of payments on it too. You know what I mean? Which I couldn't really just understand why and how that could be. It was only like 20 bands left to pay on the car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like the dude that my partner, he owned a car dealership. So really it wasn't on me to say, hey, take the car back. My guy, that's how he do business. And when the car never would get paid, he talked to me and said, hey man, it ain't nothing personal. You know, I need to get my car back, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, we hired a repo company and went down there and got it.
Yeah. Now, you know, the music industry is shady. You know, I've probably been in the music industry probably like 5-6 years.
Yeah, I've been in 27.
And that's what I'm saying. So you've seen way more than me. Is this the first time that you've been, you know, betrayed like this?
On this type of level, pretty much, yeah, pretty much. You know, I hear little things, people grumble and say little things. You know, I work on a different level. You know, if you owe me money or you devalue something and I'm working for you, you don't pay me. I don't get on the internet. I don't argue. I find a way to get my money about you. When I find a way to get it out, you might not like the way I get it out you. Yeah. And, you know, I get a lot of flack for, oh, Mr. Lee this, Mr. Lee that. But nah, what it is if I got the receipts and you owe me something, then I'm gonna get the bread. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to give me my cash.
Right.
And you know, I try to teach that to all producers. I think right now producers are in a real weak situation and position with these artists, and I think a lot of things be happening to them. They don't want to voice it or say anything about it because they're scared they're gonna get blackballed, all this kind of stuff, or somebody that's not gonna work with them. But I've been in the business 27 years, so you know, if somebody want to try to blackball me, good luck with that.
Right. So your first time hearing this record, where were you at?
I got a phone call from my homeboy Herb, man. You know, one of my good friends. He called me and said, "Hey man, you heard the Row album?" As soon as he said it, I was like, "Nah, why?" He said, "Man, listen to number 5, man." So I'll cut it on, and you know, it was crazy because the way that he said it was pretty much like, "You my nigga, but I know you've been a bitch. You've been stealing from all the stealing been doing, and I'm still getting rich." And I'm just like, dude, I pay you for everything that you've done. I've not ever collected a check or no money up front for a track that I ever gave dude ever in life. So I'm just like, dude, you got so many records from me that you never paid me for. I ain't collecting no publishing on them. None of that. I don't be caring about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you want to pick on me with this when you know that I got all this paperwork and I got so much other stuff that he don't even know that I have, that if I wanted to maliciously attack him and discredit him, I could at any time, but that's my family. You know what I'm saying? So even now I'm holding back. I don't want to go all the way out with this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to speak my piece and let it be known that, hey, you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, you got to protect your name, especially when people say stealing.
Yeah, come correct with it. You know, I've been working with people like Slim Thug, Lil Kiki, and a whole bunch of other people for years. You know, Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. That's my nephew. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at him. So we worked from 2006 all the way to the day he died. I was in communication with the dude 3 days before he got killed. Right. You know what I mean? So that's the type of relationships I have. Like, out of everybody in Houston, I've been knowing dude the longest.
Right. So you hear the record, you turn off the song. What's your emotion, you know, after that?
I'm really not even tripping on it because he's done it before. So me hearing something like that again, I'm like, this dude tripping. I called his manager up. I said, yo, you know, what's up with you guys, dude? You know, y'all spending this album out. This dude got my name in his mouth. What's going on? You know, I made a post on Instagram. It started getting a lot of noise, and they started getting a bunch of screenshots about it. So he asked me to take it down. I said, dude, I'm gonna take it down, talk to dude, and see what's going on. I called his lawyer several times and all of this. And my thing is, if somebody put a record out that I have and you ain't got the rights to do it and you ain't got the okay from me, my lawyer's sitting right there. I'm calling my lawyer. Mm-hmm. And she gonna handle it, and I ain't finna say nothing else about it. It's gonna get took down within 24 hours.
All right.
That's what everybody do. So I'm just like, okay, if I'm doing something wrong to you, brother, you can get your lawyer to take it down, or you can get it taken down, but you want to get in the booth and rap about me. Like, dude, what that's doing? What is it doing?
Yeah. So he signs the Rap a Lot without your consent, correct?
Well, he was signed to Rap a Lot before he signed to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was able to maneuver around and put my mixtape out because I got the blessings from Jay. You know what I'm saying? Jay ended up calling me and my partner, we drove down to Houston, talked to him. And he was, it was like, if it was anybody else, it'd be a no-go because he got him on the contract. You know what I'm saying? But I had all the physical copies and everything that was put out, I had to get that to the Rap a Lot.
Okay. So in the past, I'm gonna say maybe I forgot what year it was. It was a record with what was ZRos, was it Pimp C, Jay-Z, and he had a
Get Throw.
I'm sorry about that. And he had a verse in a hook, right?
I never heard the verse.
Okay.
I never heard the verse. I heard the interview, and you know what I mean? Man, I made that track in like 2 years before it came out. Okay. The verses that are on that record was recorded in like 1992. So I went in and I made the track around Pimp and Bun's verses. The record was always meant for Pimp, for not Pimp, for Bun. So I don't understand the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this dude Bun laid his verse in 1992, how is the hook gonna have the same content in it that he had on a verse from 1992 if you had not heard that verse? But you saying that you ain't heard it and it was a verse on there. I ain't never heard this verse. I produced the record.
Right.
Never heard it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're getting blamed for the verse not being on there?
Nah.
Okay.
I ain't getting blamed for that.
Okay. All
nah,
right.
I think he pretty much looking at the record label for that. So
yeah. So with this all being said and done, like, what's the verdict? Like, what do you want the world to know?
I mean, really, I do business and I do it well. You know what I mean? I look out for everybody that I work with. Some people don't like the way I move. They don't like if I push them back. And if I'm working with them and I'm developing you, then it's my job to be the overseer. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to do things correctly and carefully, and I strategize everything I do. You know, with this case right here, this was my guy. I got in a situation where I could bless him with a nice bit of bread, and a situation where he pretty much had some control over, and I went for it. You know what I mean? It backfired in my face. It spoiled milk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really tripping about it, but when you're speaking on my name and you're trying to make it out like I'm on some malicious shit with you, then I got a problem with that, because he knows that, and everybody that knows about this deal know that it was 100 all the way through. But just the fact that I gave him all the money and allowed myself to get stuck without an album says everything about what I was trying to do.
Yeah. And then I think one thing that, you learned and everybody else learned in this situation is mixing, relationships with, brotherhood.
You know what I mean? I used to always wonder, man. I'm older. I used to always wonder. When I used to get in the negotiation with Jay when I was at Rap a Lot, and I would look at the terms of some of the stuff he was doing, I'd be like, damn, man, like, we family, man. What is this? You know what I mean? And why? And I didn't really understand. The younger Mr. Lee didn't understand it. I understand it now. That dude is a genius. You know what I'm saying? Jay Prince is a genius. That's number one. This man does business and he knows, okay, you family, but when we sit at this table, it's about this black and white. It's about what I'm bringing to the table, the opportunity that I'm giving you. So if I'm giving you this opportunity, then I'm going to have to be on the better end of the stick of this. And this is what my terms are. We can negotiate and wiggle around a little bit, but it is what it is. So I learned that the hard way, man. You know what I mean? You just can't break the protocol of business when you're doing it. It don't matter who it is.
Right.